welcome back. The AWSCO Continental Series now continues its international tour after a short interlude at Michigan. We continue the Continental Series continues by taking their series south, so southwards down the border into Mexico. We're here in Aguascalientes, home of one of Mexico's staple oval racetracks, the Ovalo Aguascalientes. We're here at the 1.4 kilometer or 0.875 mile concrete racetrack for the Continental Series event down here in Mexico. Here for the Tabasco 250. I'm Marasha, and joining me today in the studio for the pre-race show is Ellie once again. Good evening to you, Ellie, as well. Nice having you back. We're here now south of the border, and doing our event here in Mexico. One of the goals of the AWSCO series is to bring oval stock car racing and oval racing kind of in general, and kind of unify it between the North American countries, especially in the case of the Continental Series. We've done that with our stretch of races in Canada not too long ago, and now we're here down in Mexico to continue that trend. And we're here at a rather interesting racetrack, I think. Aguascalientes is a pretty popular venue for oval racing here in Mexico. Runs in the NASCAR Mexico Series quite often, and it's one of the bigger ovals, if not the biggest. If not the biggest one. Well, I guess Puebla counts as an oval, so they do run that oval layout. So second biggest oval, I'd say, in Mexico by length. So this is a fairly big track by the standards of their series, but by the standards of I'd say the U.S. centric audience, this would be a fairly small track, under a mile long. What do you think of the track that we're at right now?
I think it's a pretty interesting track, especially it being, concrete. Another thing is the altitude. I feel like that'll definitely have to get some kind of tire strategy going here, because that could cause a lot of wear.
Yeah.
I think it's a very interesting track, though. I'm excited to see how our racers handle it.
Yeah, the concrete surface here is very conducive to extreme tire wear, as we saw in practice. This is definitely going to be a tire constrained track in terms of strategy, and we'll definitely see cars making a lot of stops along the way. Tire strategy is very important here, as it will become very obvious in due time. So, in terms of racing, this track is not sure what track we've raced at already in this series. That would be a good comparison. We've raced at plenty of concrete track before. I think we always run at Bristol. I believe Nashville Super Speedway is also a concrete track, and those are the two ovals that I believe we've raced at. The two concrete ovals that we've raced at here. There's other concrete ovals, of course, like Dover, but we don't race those in AWSCO. But yeah, tire wear wise, I'm not entirely sure if we've had a primarily tire wear constrained racetrack to this extent yet. The closest analog I can think of in the wider stock car racing world would of course be Rockingham, I believe, where that kind of high tire wear and extremely abrasive track surface is kind of creates that same kind of strategy game where it's all about optimizing your tire wear and making sure that you don't lose too much time running on older tires that you end up falling behind on the longer runs. Actually, I'd say a good comparison would be the Cup race that we had recently at Mosport. That kind of similar dynamic, I think, will be at play here. I'm sure there are obviously two different tracks, but can you see some of the lessons that the Cup guys took in Mosport being something that could be a factor here today?
I think so, but this is kind of the most tire wear heavy track we've had, like you said. So I think that even the lessons they got from that, they're still gonna have to get their tuning in for this kind of track right here. I mean,
Yeah,
the
not to
tire strategy, if people want to make those long game plans where they just skip going for tires and get ahead of everybody else, I don't know if it'll work on this kind of track here.
yeah, not and
Like wait a lap or two out before everybody pits. I don't know if that's a good strategy here. If we see somebody do it, it might be interesting though.
yeah, not to mention that of course not too many teams compete in both series. Obviously, there are a few teams that cross over and field cars in both series, but obviously not many of there's not many of them. Most of these teams in the Continental series, only run in this series. So at best, they've only have a what do you call it? Have a secondary source, I guess, to the kind of strategy, to the kind of tire strategy heavy racing that we saw at those tracks at that track beforehand, and we'll see how the teams deal with that. Usually, when we're talking about a track that's under a mile, we'd usually be talking about, I think, talking about, say, wreck avoidance and what do you call it? Wreck avoidance and kind of restart management, kind of
Hmm.
playing the what do you call it? Track position game, I should say. But this track seems to be a little bit different. We've seen a couple of incidents happen, but typically this is one of those tracks that races relatively cleanly. From past experiences watching racing here, and as well watching the practice sessions here. Not too many incidents as far as I remember, which I think creates another interesting dynamic. I think you don't usually see a short track race like this operate more on a long run basis, I would say.
Yeah, you really don't. I mean, a lot of our short tracks have kind of had some very aggressive, messy racing, but clean racing on this kind of track will be interesting, I think,
Yeah.
especially from some of our drivers who are really good on those long runs.
Hmm. Yeah. I've been struggling a little bit to kind of think about the kind of dynamic we'll see at an app comparison to something we've seen at this level before. I guess Nashville Super Speedway and Nazareth are the closest ones. I want to say in terms of kind of the focus on longer run racing, especially later on in the race. Nazareth with kind of a similar situation, I'd say, where the focus was mostly on strategy, despite the bat race being peppered with some incidents here and there. We'll see what happens. But another, I want to say, feature of the high elevation that I think that might play into a role is that with engine cooling and aerodynamics. Engine cooling is obviously going to be a big problem with the thinner air up here. Of course, we've already seen uh, the Continental Series, I should say, both AWSCO Series race at high altitude. We've been to Colorado to race at Denver at Pikes Peak. This is a little bit higher up. I think this is going to be the highest elevation that both AWSCO Series will race in. This and the Cup race in Mexico City that we'll have later on. But at the same time, there's only a limited bit of experience. These teams have only had a limited bit of experience working with this kind of altitude. So maybe there are a few concerns about long run reliability as time goes on, but I think they weren't too much of a concern. I don't think at either Denver or Pikes Peak. So I think we'll just have to see what happens on that front. Aerodynamics is another interesting one. Obviously, the thinner air again means that a lot of what do you call it? A lot of setup changes have to be made on the car to kind of accommodate for that kind of thing. We'll see how the technical game goes. I think with these teams and the engineering experience that they gain from this. That'll certainly be a factor that everyone's kind of had to bear in mind heading into this race. I think.
Yeah, I think we gotta watch for their whole technical game and whether teams have got their cars tuned for an elevation this high. Aguas Calientes, it's about 1,888
Yeah, it's
meters.
over 6,000 feet.
Yeah.
It's
So I think a lot of these drivers, even if they are somewhat experienced with the previous, high elevations that we had, this is still higher than that. So I think it will be interesting to see how they're going to handle it and whether their cars are tuned for it or not.
yeah. Well, I think now would be a good time to take a look at our starting lineup. It's a bit of a surprise up front. It's Isabella Smith on pole, a driver that we've not seen much of at the front at all this season, I don't think. Put her Dark Horse Racing Ford up front, and alongside her, it's that ever impressive Maya Shelby, the number 5, has been running excellently for the last few races. Had her thunder stolen a little bit by another newcomer at Michigan, but still running really well and starting up front here to put herself in a good spot to continue that really good run of form so far. Taking a look at the rest of the top 10, anybody in particular catch your eye right now?
Yeah, I mean, Takamoto Aya is up here. She's been really good. Izzy Oberman as well, but also Naomi Davenport. She made 9th in the FanDuel Fast 10. I do want to say Maya Shelby, she's got a really good start here, though. She's row 1 on the outside. That's really good. I think she's been very impressive, and I think she's going to probably take advantage of starting out that high.
Yeah, I think so. Looking at that second row, those are two drivers who've desperately needed to make races in general. Abby Buchanan's been kind of struggling to make races recently, and because of that, she's tumbled down the points quite a few positions. Now it's looking on the outside of the playoffs, and sitting 26th in points right now. Last race that she made was at Sonia Stosh, so it's been a while since we've seen her. Alice Hageman is another driver that's a little bit further down in points, has made quite a few races as well, but is also a driver that's been really needing a few good runs. You mentioned Takamoto Aya. On the outside of her is the Oberman, the ever-present driver for Inverness Racing there. With her and her 3 wits starting up front. We'll see what she does from here. She's definitely gained a bit of a reputation for late race shenanigans and just being in general being very good at racing very strong, being very strong. Both Meridian cars also made it into the Fast 10. Rose Lockport in the 77, putting her car on the inside of row 4 and 8th. Madison Estrada outside of her on the 9th, starting in 9th. Another good start for her. We'll see if she's able to convert that into a good race. And rounding out the top 10, the ever-present Naomi Davenport, who's been excellent for a long time now, with a string of top 10 runs that have gone almost unbroken since South Boston. And alongside her, it's 5th in points, Freya von Lundquist, our Daytona winner. And looking around at the rest of the field, I want to say, with an eye on the cut line right now, Aya, of course, already mentioned Takamoto Aya, who's on that row 3. Leah Azelhart starting on the outside of row 7. That's in 14th place. That's another driver who's right there in the cutoff line. Had a really good run at Michigan. And was may have had an outside chance of the win had that race not gone so far green to the end there. You mentioned Lockport and Buchanan. Those are 2 drivers that are right outside, that are also kind of in that bubble looking to find their way in. I think if you look above the cut line now, we look at Summers and Johnson, the Uberman duo. They're kind of starting a little bit further down. I wonder if they're set up a little bit more for a race strategy. If you're looking for that points game, obviously, at a track like this, you really do want to have good race pace alongside good strategy and execution on pit road, obviously.
Yeah, but I also wouldn't underestimate them, especially Kate Summers. We've seen her climb through the midfield a lot of races, so she is somebody I wouldn't underestimate, and seeing her start low will be interesting to me, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be an interesting one to look out for. And looking at the rest of that playoff bubble. I guess Latanya Gray's also there. Latanya Gray is also starting up front alongside Azelhart. And you have Zoe Quinton, who's been on a really good run in that 82 car as well. She's another driver that I think we have to look out for. And the 96 of Lynn Oswell took that last points provisional, so that, a good bit of decent luck for her managing to take that last points provisional. And that's another driver that I think we have to look out for. I think needed a little bit of luck, I guess, to make the race. But that's another driver who's going to be really needing a good run. And I can't mention, of course, that our driver from Mexico, the number 7 of Reina Munoz, has already won once this season at a short track. It was at Delaware, Ontario. He's been on a decent hot streak as of late. Scored a top 10 at Michigan as well. That's probably one more driver that's looking to make a mark today. Any final thoughts before we throw things over to the booth, Ellie?
I mean, I agree with you on Munoz. I also think that since we're in Mexico, maybe she'll want to show up. Our top 10 looks very interesting for the rows. I mean, we have all of these really big names up here. We have some of these underdogs up here. I think it'll be a very interesting race, and I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, lots of eyes on the long run game today, of course. All right, and with that, we'll take things over to the booth now. I think we've taken enough time from everyone. The race is pretty close to starting, so we'll get things over with Echo and Eddie in the booth. Eddie's been promoted, I guess. I'm not sure how we managed that one, but I guess we'll just have to see how he does over in his new higher position.
Yeah, and welcome here to the Ovalo Aguascalientes, Mexico, here in the mountains of Aguascalientes in Mexico. The Tabasco 250, it's a 250 lap event here from this 7/8 of a mile track in Mexico. I'm joined by Eddie today, and Eddie, you joined me. You were there with me and as well with AG when we ran the Body Armor Pro Series race here. Now we just got Continental Series, arguably the biggest event that's come to this racetrack. What do you expect out of this one? You think it's going to be more of the same? You think it's going to be cleaner? Do you think we might see a little bit of chaos?
I always hope for chaos. That's the first thing. Shouldn't be surprised if you know me. But I really don't know. From what I remember back to the Body Armor Pro Series race, which I realize now I probably should have watched before I got on this call. Got to the. I have all this time hanging out, just waiting for the race. Could have put that on in the background, but something I do remember is they did keep it clean. But something I also know is that the race, that Body Armor Pro Series race, was very it was very short compared to this race, so I didn't really get to see the extent of where the tire wear got to a lot of these drivers. I know it made it hard to pass late in that run or that race, at least as my memory serves. So that's about all I remember. So I'd hope for chaos, but I wouldn't be surprised if these guys keep it clean. I'm sure all of them have been warned about the tire wear, so they'll probably be more conservative in their efforts. But to counteract that, we also have, if you looked at the starting lineup, you'll realize that this is the first race in a while where most of the drivers near the cut line actually made it. Highest driver in the point standings that didn't make it was 32nd with Jennifer Wilson. So we have a lot of drivers fighting to stay above the cut line, fighting to get above the cut line, and just fighting for a race win. So we're gonna have probably some aggression, but I think a lot of people are gonna keep it as just conservative in terms of keeping their tires from getting ripped off by this track. And so I would, in the end, I'd say probably cleaner than chaotic.
And Lynn Oswell, who got the last provisional, is 29th and was 29th in under points, which amounts to be probably the lowest we've seen somebody get in on an owner points provisional this year. All right, let's go through the starting grid here for this race. Row 1, Isabella Smith with a surprise pole. She starts out front alongside alongside the driver who's finished top 10 in her first 3 races, Maya Sheldaby. Row 2, the 81 Alice Hageman, who led the most laps back at Saint Eustache before having to pit late. She had a 14-second lead in that race, but didn't matter. Alongside her is Abby Buchanan, who's been very good at the short tracks this year. Row 3, Takamoto Aya and Izzy Oberman. Aya's been consistent, hasn't won yet, but she's been strong. Oberman with those 3 wins. Row 4, Rosa Lockport and Madison Estrada. In row 5, the driver with how many consecutive top 10s? I believe it's 7 consecutive top 10s. Naomi Davenport, alongside Freya von Lundquist. Row 6, the 40, Laura Sundale, and the 51, Sandy Martel. For the first time this year, Martel has qualified for back-to-back races. You'll just have to ignore that. You'll just have to ignore that she's not even in the same car she started the season with. Row 7, the 65 of Latanya Gray and the 16 of Leah Azelhart. Row 8, the 45, Liz Roberts, and making her Continental Series debut, Tammy Bird in the 84. Row 9, the 95, Cara Reynolds, and the 46 of Bridget Brosseau. Row 10, the 66 of Ani Starchev, winner last week in Michigan, and the 38 of Isabella Fitzmaurice. Row 11, the 35, Krista Andersen, and the 7 hometown driver, Reina Munoz. Row 12, the 2 of Rachel Ramos, and the 82 of Zoe Quinton. Row 13, the 24 is Ashley Johnson, and the 6 of Mila Chestina. Row 14, the 25, Kathy Ableton Perez, and the 12 of Jackie Kennedy. Row 15 is the 0 of Hieta Yoko, and the 8 of Kate Summers. Row 16, the 62, Vinnie Schultz, and the 55, Deborah Williams. Row 17 is the 10 of Charlie McCarron, and the 64 of Mayumi Moriyama. Row 18, the 14, Katja Niedelstein, and the 99, Karina Willis-Callaway. And at the back, row 19, the 26, Robin Morales, and the 96 of Lynn Oswell. All right, 250 laps. 250 laps, less on the mileage, but where do you think? What do you think is going to be the most important thing about this race?
Being a tire whisperer. Anyone who can hold their tires out for a couple laps longer than people is going to have advantage on long, clean runs, and might have some and might be able to cook up some good strategy with their crew chief. So anyone who can get as much life of those tires as they can will probably go to victory lane here, or at least gain a lot of spots.
Optimal tire strategy here is going to be pitting around after 50 laps, so this could be a 4-stop race. They can go much longer on fuel, but they shouldn't. Green flag is out. Here we go. We're racing at Aguascalientes. We've already got moves back here.
Oh, 93.
They are 4 wide. It is hairy. They are just making it through, though. Smith leads lap number 1 here.
Oh, 93 of Izzy Oberman's hit the wall twice.
Oh, we got a car around Martel.
There it is, the 51.
Oh, Latanya's upside down.
Upside down. That was quick. Holy cow. Chaos. And that's a lot of flipping. Jeez. Keep it together.
What a spectacular crash for Latanya Gray.
Well, Latanya Gray is certainly a spectacle, so I don't think this should come as much of a surprise. Now, can these guys figure it out? As I see someone already getting, yeah, the 84. Okay, well, guys, brakes, jeez. You'd think they'd have enough brain cells to actually, like, drive a car.
That may be worthy. That may be reset worthy. Not because of the flip, but because of everyone stacking up coming to the pit road. I want to catch a replay of that first, though.
Does it start with Oberman? no.
51.
Oh my god, the 51.
The 51's trying to avoid the 93. 's trying to not run into the 93, and she just dives down into the 65 instead.
That's what inexperience will get you. Jeez. Oh, no, well, it is Martel, but, you know, inexperience nonetheless compared to a lot of these drivers. Yeah, a lot of people.
By the way, shout out Ani Starchev managing to make it through that. Obviously, we're gonna reset it, so everybody's gonna be able to get their backup cars out, but stellar.
Absolutely.
All right, it never happened. You didn't see anything.
Drivers, to your cars.
Actually restarting the race, and by restarting, we're actually restarting from the beginning. Officials have given them a bit of a warning.
Hey, better.
Green flag. We're racing in Aguascalientes.
These are backup cars, guys. Don't
take them out yet.
Oh, come on. 84. Dog. Tammy. Gotta be better than that.
Just trying to get a handle on this car. Obviously, remember, she's new to the series.
Yep.
Shelby. Up
Shelby
almost
goes
in the
wide,
wall.
that's not
The
bad.
88's up there as well.
Oh, here's where the trouble is, and they made it through easily.
The key thing here is going to be don't go 4 wide with a car in the wall in front of you.
Try not to panic. I think that was the other thing.
That too.
Enough space for Martel to just kind of stay there, but yeah, 81 looks like that car's fast. That's Shelby is in the wall again.
Isabella Smith leads here from Aguascalientes early on. Led every lap so far. Granted, we've only completed 3 laps. But that's going to be the thing now is once we get on a run, we're going to see the tires. The tire wear is going to be the most important thing that we're going to watch, because after about 10 laps, that's when I'm going to start to be focusing on. Look at the lap times as we have a move for the lead. Here comes Hageman in the 81. Hageman's run well on other concrete tracks this year. She ran well at Nashville. But that outside lane can fight back.
33 points back in the cut line. We could certainly use a win, but Isabella Smith could too, and we've got 2 drivers outside the top 30. Battling for the lead. Continental Series, baby. This is the fun part.
Hey, Hageman's run very good on the short tracks all year.
Yeah.
And the concrete tracks as well. I mean, Nashville, she definitely had a chance to win, but she got taken out in an accident while leading. Could not make the pass on Smith.
Oh, Oberman. No, that's not Oberman.
That is Oberman.
I thought that was the 88 for a second.
66 is well behind that.
Oh, there's the 88.
Yeah, there's the 88.
Look, gaggle in the back. That's funny. Shelby seems like she's been close to the wall a couple times, but she's in the top 10 here still.
I think she's been in the wall a couple times.
Yeah. Izzy on the other.
I mean, just that's the thing is, you know, the track is so wide. The track is so wide, I think sometimes they just overestimate how much room they have, and they go up top, and they go a little too far up top.
Watch here. There's Shelby. Ooh, boy. about it. Some with the Dollar Tree car in the back didn't know.
That's Von Lundquist in the 42 car.
Wait, then what's the other? There's another green car back there that I saw near the wall.
The 38.
38. Yep. Isabella Fitzmaurice.
Fitzmaurice, yeah. That's a different that's a different Izzy.
Ah well. Oh, they're both, and oh man, a Tanya lost tire wear too. That's not good. That's not good. And you know this is gonna be bad because this is also where the strategy is gonna play into is whether people want to fix that left side damage or not, depending on whether it's affecting the car.
Yeah.
As you can see, the 59's just
Buchanan's up there as well. Interesting thing is you don't really lose that much momentum from going up in the wall. You can still get runs up on the top side. Martel's gotten by Davenport here for the 6th position. Actually, for the 5th position, excuse me.
yeah, Martel's on a good run.
Yeah, Martel's having a good run so far. You got Rose Lockport trying to make her way through. Here comes Takamoto Aya. Remember where
Here's
Aya...
the top one. Nope. No one in the top 5 is in the playoffs. Actually, no one in the top. I think
Top
highest,
5, top 5,
playoff
yes.
driver is, yeah, Naomi Davenport's highest driver currently locked in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's a good sign. That's big for a lot, especially 71.
I mean, highest
and
driver in a
who's-
playoff position is the 22 as well, so...
Yep. Meridian Motorsports having a good day too, with 2 cars in the top 5, but we'll see if that lasts because
Well, yeah, we're
Isabella
like,
Smith
what,
is
13
gapping
laps in?
people right now.
We're 13 laps in.
Isabella Smith is gapping people.
We might have a move
Only
for
one
second
top
here.
10 on the year though.
For Smith?
Yeah, she got one at, I believe this is, oh no, I'm clicking at Connie.
No, she
Who
has
has more,
3.
Lulu
She has
Connie
3.
having 3 more points than Isabella Smith. But yeah.
She has 3. I mean, the thing for Smith is she finished well last week in Michigan on the podium, sat on the podium. It's been a struggle for Smith this year, so...
Yeah, the 5D straight D&Qs between Phoenix and Hillside definitely hasn't been helping her at all.
No. That Michigan race was the first time she had finished a race, I think, since I believe either Irwindale or Las Vegas. It's been rough for Smith for a while. Here comes the 51 of Martel, looking for 3rd, trying to take maybe 2nd now. Look at this 51. Well, they pulled out the backup, and it's pretty fast.
Can't confirm the last time she finished a race was Irwindale, 5 laps down.
5 laps down.
She last finished on the lead lap in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
which was her 9th place finish. So it has, yeah, she is. She might have figured something out. She might have seen all these newbies jump into the frame and go, "It's my time to shine. I need to show these guys how it's going." But Sandy Martel has decided your time of relevance is up, buddy. Give me that first.
Here comes Sandy Martel in that 51. We are back watching the bottom 2 drivers that have run most of the races in this season battle for the lead right now. 44th and 45th in points. Fight for the lead, and Martel will take it away from Smith. New leader,
North
the
Star
51 is
Motors.
out front.
81's gonna try and get past him too. It's someone look in North Star's garage. Make sure they're not using jet fuel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make sure they didn't. Make sure they're not. Make sure they're not doing the Jeff Gordon T-Rex car, or not T-Rex car. The 01 All-Star race car.
Yep. Someone try. Oh no, Smith goes wide now. She can run that top line though, so she didn't hit the wall. So that might actually help. But Hageman got in front of her.
Hageman gets in front, but
Crazy
Smith
block
dives
there.
right back down to the bottom.
Oh, these two.
Meanwhile, Rose Lockport's back here fighting. Here's Abby Buchanan fighting with Davenport. Here's LaTanya Gray up in 9th. Gray's doing a great job right now.
When's the last time LaTanya Gray? Well, you know what? Maybe if I have my notes in order, I actually know when the LaTanya Gray had finished this good, and it hasn't been. It's been a while.
It was,
Last top 10 was last top 10 was South Boston, so she's had some 11th
I mean,
place
she's
finishes,
been
though.
pretty good. She's run decently. I mean, I remember Milwaukee. She ran pretty good. She led at Milwaukee, but she dropped back in the last run.
Yeah. Only
Now
27 points down. This is a good spot regardless, but
Smith is starting to drop spots now. She led, but it's not going to be. I don't think she's going to be able to hold on to that for much longer.
no, this is. Oh, as soon as we say it too.
Well,
Hard on the wall.
like I said, wasn't going to be able to hold on to it for much longer.
No. Also, where's Kate Summers? Because I just realized Takamoto Aya's first driver on the cut line. So
There's Summers
is
back in
a
32nd.
great spot. Yeah, that'll put Aya over Summers.
I would be well ahead of Summers, yeah.
Yeah, that's so good start for Aya. Let's see if she can hold it. Try and put herself
Raising the
in
wall here.
Why are all the people we say are doing well suddenly binning it in turn 1?
It just happens sometimes.
Yep.
Martel's pulled away a little bit. But I think it might be worth watching here. It might be worth looking at where Aya goes. Because I think that 11 car is pretty fast as well. 25 laps into the run. There's your tire wear clock. 1 second of lap time has been lost.
And there goes Aya.
It's taken him 25 seconds. Or 25 laps, excuse me.
His
Whoa, the 81.
3 wide per second. And forcing her teammate into the wall. Meridian Motorsports, figure it out.
81, I thought was going to lose it. She was sideways in the wall, but managed to hang on to it. As they're 3 wide for second.
We're going to go full lap 3 wide.
Almost a full lap.
Yeah, well. You didn't want to think had to blank that damage was not going to help in the 71. It's something about that camera, but that 71 looked like she was about to force the 11 into the wall.
77, you mean?
70, yes.
Okay.
On block. Lockport, though, having a good run. Another driver who, needs it. Lockport and Aya right now might be battling for the,
for the cut line
if
spot,
not the last spot. One of the, being ahead of the other.
Here's a car that's started towards the back and has made her way up here. Hit a Yoko on the edge of the top 10 now.
Play. Jeez, the 51's gone. Sandy Martel is a second and a half ahead now. Jeez. Oh goodness. If there's lap traffic at some point, this is gonna be fun.
Sorry, we were experiencing some technical difficulties. Yeah, now that tire wear clock is ticking. Because you saw...
Where'd the 16 come from? Like, why is... Okay, so now, gotta point this out. If Hazelhart completes this pass, the 3 drivers just underneath the cut line, Aya,
are
Hazelhart,
all
Lockport,
in the top 5.
and Johnson and Summers are nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
The shake up.
Back here, there's Yoko and Gray. That is a battle for a spot in the top 10. We got Izzy Oberman and Naomi Davenport back here. How about Izzy Oberman? Would be looking for what I believe would be looking for her 4th win of the season. As Martel is continuing to pull away, but now think about this. The tire wear clock is starting to tick because now, after 25 laps, they lost about a second. After 32, let's see. Yeah, the 51 is her fast laps are 22.9. She just ran a 24.2 last time. Here comes Leah Azelhart underneath Alice Hageman, and here comes Takamoto Aya looking for second on Rose Lockport. Lockport clears.
Oh my goodness! And Azelhart just absolutely. That looked like a dive bomb and a half that she managed to pull off and clear in one turn. From that camera angle, it probably wasn't in the end, but now the 11 I think backed off, knowing the 16 might be able to push her to the front, but they've got to work together, and that's gonna be harder than most. I saw 3 wide. Is that 3 wide back there?
I
Someone's
believe it
going
was.
rough
Yeah, it was. I believe
bottom
it
by
was.
a mile. Someone was ripping the bottom a lot there. As the 11's got the 16 behind her, they're gonna try to. Well, we'll
These
see.
cars
Does
are almost.
Hazelhart-
These cars have lost almost 2 seconds from their fast laps. Meanwhile, Leah Hazelhart is just absolutely reeling them in.
Be patient there.
Look
She's
from our
definitely
spectator cam.
higher.
You can just
Love
see
our
the kind of
spectator
runs
cam.
they get off these corners. It's not, there's not really a clear better lane here. That's the thing, is, you know, both ends of the track, you can make the top work or the bottom work. It's very, very interesting to watch. And you'll see the 11 here try and do that rundown on the 77. I think the 16 may have them both beat a little bit here in terms of pace. Yeah, here comes Hazelhart.
Oh, there she goes. She found her moment, and she's gonna, I think, try the exact same thing she tried on the 81. She's probably gonna attempt to
I think
send it in here and
she
get
might have it.
the-
Nah, 11's gonna hang on the outside. Not for very long,
16 can block if she doesn't need to.
16 is clear.
Is she going for it? As? No.
Well, I think she's clear. Oh no, the 11's gonna fight. The 11's gonna stick on the outside.
She had a chance to block. I think she thought twice about it. But she's gonna clear him there.
She cleared her there, and now she's gonna go for Lockport here into turn 1.
Oh, wow. Aya's gonna follow. This might have been genius. Is this a genius? No, Aya's gonna back out of it too. Although Aya's moving 3 wide. What?
They're not tight. They're not tight enough for 3 wide, I don't think.
No, not that time. It's, oh boy, 15.
Yeah, Smith is
truly training.
Smith has definitely slid back. I think that this 15 is good on the short run, but I can't see this car being very good on the long run.
The 45 is here now. Ponos Racing continues to try and have something happen. Roberts, they're 92 points out of the playoffs.
I believe
right now,
Roberts is still without a top 10. I believe she's the only full-time driver, or a driver
Yep.
that's attempted a majority of the races without a top 10 finish.
That is correct.
And she's come close. She's had numerous chances to make it happen, but just bad luck one way or the other has foiled her a lot.
Well, given. Never mind.
How about Charlie McCarron in the 10 car taking over this
she's
car
working.
after the permanent suspension of Eliza Evergreen? She's actually in the 10th spot, so McCarron making things work here. We got to move for
There's
second.
Hazelhart making a move.
Hazelhart going for it on Lockport. I think she
Aya?
may have a little bit better chance this time.
It definitely looks like she does. What does Aya do in this case, though? Trying to.
If you're Aya, you want to go to the bottom.
Yep. Try and follow, but I think she's gonna. Yep. There she goes. She's gonna follow now.
Hazelhart can't get clear quite yet.
Oh, she can go. 77's fighting back. You're talking about Charlie McCarron, though, after last week, eating an owner's provisional and then getting wrecked out early.
She took an owner's provisional in this one, too, actually.
Exactly. And now she's in the top 10.
Yeah.
Sometimes all it takes is.
I mean, that 10 car has been super fast all year. I mean, if you look at Eliza Evergreen in the points
She's an
standings,
8th.
despite the fact that Evergreen's been permanently suspended, she's still ahead by 50 points in the points lead battle, which means she'll still have the points lead after this race, regardless of anything that happens. Hazelhart finally clears Lockport, but she's got some work to do to catch Martell's 3.2 seconds back. And yeah, you know how I said that tire wear clock is ticking? They're now down 3 seconds on tire wear.
Oh boy. See, and this is something we're gonna try to see out of this 51 team of Uberman Enterprises.
You mean North Star?
51 is in-
You mean North Star?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sandy Martell's name still says Uberman Enterprises on the point sheet. But
Oh, does it?
I understand
Okay.
that.
Fair enough.
I understand that. Regardless, this is where we're gonna see something because a lot of people are going to be slightly editing their strategy to try and change from Sandy Martell. So Martell is in the driver's seat in terms of strategy because whatever they do, everyone else is going to try to slightly figure out, okay, if I can do the undercut, I need to pit a lap before her. If I want to do the overcut, I'm going to do a lap ahead of her. But you don't know until the 51 makes that choice, which means there's a good chance a lot of people just go for the overcut or go with her for this pit stop. So realistically, whenever the 51 wants to pit, could dictate a lot of things around the place. And if I was the 51 team, I'd be keeping our mouths shut about things so that, you know, a little bit of uncertainty always helps in the minds of your opponents.
Well, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, really. I mean, where you are in terms of if you're the leader, you're out front by this much, because she's out front by 3 seconds. She's leading the race, but the thing is, where she is right now, whenever she pits, whatever the strategy she does, a lot of cars are going to do the opposite as we see the 64 Moriyamas come down pit road. But a lot of cars are going to do the opposite of what that leader does just to get off cycle, just so they have a chance to get by her. Because this track is heavily strategy dependent. I mean, with how fast the tires wear out, I mean, we ran about what? The tires are gone, and we've run about 50 laps, which is about 40 miles, 44 miles. I mean, you don't really see that anywhere else.
Nope.
Izzy Overman is starting to make up some ground. She's gone by Aya here, and now she's going to look to maybe get past Lockport as well. But the thing is here, the strategy is going to be what wins you the race. Pretty much regardless of what happens, strategy is going to be what wins the race. Ellie, what's up on Moriyama? Why'd you come in early?
She came in early because she ended up having an oil leak in her car, and they got on top of it. They also just got her tires, trying to get her back on the road as soon as possible.
Well, the thing is, now, this is where we're going to see, because they just put tires on this 64. Watch how much this car's going to fly through the field, because she's on fresh tires. As we've got a battle for second once again, here comes Lockport on Hazelhart. And the 64, well, you're going to see how fast this 64 is, because she's on fresh tires. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even really matter. Look at how far she can drive it into the corner. Like, she's a second clear of them in one corner.
This is gonna be the sorry, someone hit the Jaws music.
Oh, 45 coming to pit road. 45.
There's your undercut.
That's the first leader to come down. And this is where I would be I'm concerned about a caution, because these cars now with the tire wear, with how much of a difference there is on tires, it's very possible that someone on fresh tires could just absolutely plow into the back of somebody on old tires.
Yep.
42's in.
Oh, there goes Longquist.
They've extended the pit road out a little bit, so the pit road begins right where that yellow line is. So the pit road's just a little bit longer than what's marked.
Tanya's in.
Tanya, Starchev, I see Ableton Perez, I see Shelby coming down. I see Summers, Hazelhart's coming down, so 16 car. Gonna try to make the early stop work. Lockport fighting with Oberman here for second.
Isabella Smith is flying.
I think the 15 came down pit road.
Yeah. She definitely did. She forced a 3 wide with McCarran and Ian. Almost looked like she was going to take out McCarran. So.
Martel's still staying out. 11's in, so Aya's coming down.
Yeah.
They've updated the pit LPs, so... Well, they've updated the pit entry spots, so you have to enter onto the apron in turn 3, as opposed to prior editions of this race where you've had to enter exiting 4. You now enter in 3 just to keep it safe.
I imagine that helps. Any other takers in this group? That
doesn't look like it.
Look out. Uh-oh.
Doesn't look like it. These two are on fresh tires, the 59 and the other one,
38.
38, yeah.
This 38's getting held up. 59 is gone.
And who takes the lead after this cycles out is going to be really interesting because we're 3 wide for second right now.
And we're about to make it 4 wide because we need to go on the outside of these guys. Okay.
Chistina's being just held up, so is Summers. Now the 93 will finally lay over and let the 6 through. I think the 51 might have got run into by a faster car. Martell's coming down pit road now. Lockport's in.
77. Yep. Lockport will join her.
And this is
someone's
where
gonna get
this is
really
what
loud.
I would be worried about. What happened to the 51? Oh yeah, 35 per pretty much in the wall. Look at that.
Oh my god! Why'd
And she
you do
didn't
that?
get all the way into the wall. That's just
didn't.
that's just the difference. That's just the tire difference. That's the tire difference. There's not much she can really do as the caution is out.
Oh.
We got a car. We got a car
no,
around in turn number 3. It's Ashley
It
Johnson in
was
the 24.
Ashley Johnson. And I was about to say something about the bubble and Krista Anderson putting some aggression into that car to try and hold her 10-point gap to the cut line. I think Ashley Johnson may have possibly lost battle to that, or at least just lost something. As man, everyone who held out's gonna pit, which means Izzy Oberman might have just gamed the system again. Oh no, 4 wins, baby.
Well, everyone's going to come down for tires here. We'll get a look as to what happened to the 24 in a moment. Some contact back here on pit road. There's the 82. But cars that stay out will take the... There's going to be cars that stay... There's going to be probably quite a few cars that will take the free pass. Or that will take the wave around because they just came down pit road.
They did not fix the damage on the 51 car.
I believe they did.
Oh, I think that.
There's the race out. Leader off pit road. I'm trying to figure it out. I believe it's the 16. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who. I don't know who the leader is right now, actually. Well, we'll figure it out when they cross the line here.
Sure.
The leader is... Who is the leader? Okay, there's a lot of wave rounds. 77 is the leader.
77.
So 81 is the official free pass car.
11 thought she was going to.
Okay. All those cars got the official wave around. Rasha, what's up?
Yeah, a lot of these teams that had kind of gotten caught up a lap down under that caution, effectively took a de facto wave around there. A lot of them took either 2 tires or no tires, or all just topped up on, or no tires at all, just topped up on fuel to try to beat the whoever was going to be the leader off the from the lead lap, and that's exactly why you saw so many cars take the being waved out there. I think there were at least 10 cars that were ahead of the official leader of the race, and that would that's the explanation for why we had so many so many cars coming into pit road there.
There's also a fair few cars that are in between the leaders, so they'll take the second wave around here for the lap down cars in between the leaders. But first caution of the day involved the 24 of Ashley Johnson. That car, yeah, just gets run into by a car with fresher tires. Kennedy just hooks her around. Oh, Liz Roberts.
Oh, Liz, not again.
Well, there's the luck that she's had. In fact, she's actually retired from the race because of that.
Never a chance to go in the lead lap.
We're going to go an extra lap under caution to allow these cars to get time to catch up. So 27 cars will be on the lead lap. We had about, we lost about 11 cars that have been lapped after the cycle. Ellie, you have further update on Moriyama?
Yeah, her tire actually went down, so her pit crew called her to go all the way back to pit again just to work on her car again. I'm sure that is very tiring after all of that mess.
She's actually still on the lead lap. She's actually managed to stay on the lead lap, 13th right now. So for Moriyama, I guess it could be worse. But that car has had a lot of issues throughout this race so far. Well, Lockport, Willis Callaway, Edelstein, McCarran, and Oberman is the top 10, or the top 5. Oswell, Munoz, Schultz, Min, Reynolds, the top 10. Bit of a weird, it's cycled out very odd. Oh, the 96 is just blown up from the middle of the restart. As the green flag is out.
Light bomb strikes again.
Well, that's about the worst time to have an engine failure.
Yep, we gotta make it all the way around too, or we're gonna have another caution.
Looks like we're okay. Looks like she, I think she managed to, I think she drove it down to the pits because it was right there. Lockport leads. We got a fight for a second. Here comes Edelstein on Willis Callaway.
Willis Callaway said, wow, Willis Callaway really drove away at that corner.
And the outside lane's going to be a little bit stronger. Here, going almost 4 wide back here.
.46 in the wall. Ponos Racing can't catch break.
Vinny Schultz, look at the 62. She's moving her way up through here.
This race is just going to be...
I don't know what that was, if that was my mic echoing or if that was you going insane.
That was me going insane.
Okay.
I think...
Okay, fair enough.
I think this is going to be the race of how'd this driver get in the top 10? They disappear from the top 10. And that's just going to be how it rotates because we have had some of the most random drivers. Some really needing top 10 show up in the top 10.
We're going to have a fight for the lead here.
Oh, here comes
Karina.
Look out.
Dives it down into turn 1.
Bye-bye, Lockport.
I don't know. Don't say bye-bye quite yet.
Uh-oh.
That's the 2 of Rachel Ramos.
Edelstein is following Karina, right? Edelstein might.
Yeah. Catherine Edelstein might get up here. Here's Serena Munoz, the Mexican driver from Cancun. She's up here in 3rd. Russia.
Yep, camshaft went camshaft let go on the 96 car. That was pretty bad timing on their end to have that go right at the restart, and that would be the end of their race. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, definitely an unfortunate accident for the 96 to win as well. That'll definitely put a damper on Dark Horse Racing's performance so far. Not bad for the 65, but yeah, the 96's day is over.
That car really blew up, and Edelstein's taking the lead, but Karina Willis-Callaway's fighting right back to the inside. Reina Munoz is right there on these two. You got Lockport here. There's Schultz and McCarran, 5th and 6th right there battling. Edelstein hangs on to the position for now, but the key word there is for now. Fastest lap NordVPN fastest lap right now, the 7, Reina Munoz. She's gotten it on this run. I mean, it wouldn't have changed in the last 45 laps of the last run.
Someone needs to check on the 24 garage, because that car going from getting spun in front to now 8th, and pushing it on. I guess they did manage to fix the car, but that car's flying right now, so...
Ironically, I think for the... Oh, the 51! Oh, Martel!
Oh, Sandy Martel, and it's the big one.
She must have had a...
Is that her old...
Oh my gosh!
Oh no! Oh boy.
That's a huge pileup.
And the track is blocked.
That... I don't have anything for that one.
I think Sandy Martel accidentally took on her old car.
Oh, the 2 just piled in.
And everyone's just hitting.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry, if you just heard another noise in the background, that was our producer. We are all, distraught at what we just seen. Holy cow.
Well, we're gonna get a bunch of cars to pit road.
Edelstein, Lockport, and Munoz survived. And that's the good sign. Oh, 62. Did a weird cha-cha slide thing over there. Karina's probably done. Oh, Karina's actually changed her test. Someone blew up.
Let's see who's...
Karen, isn't it?
Oh, a lot of cars are blowing up right now. 84 is
yeah.
the free pass.
With a busted up front end.
I mean, I guess we'll take it any way you can get him, right?
Nope. 93's retired, 16's out of it.
Ooh, 77
may have just flipped her own teammate. Oh,
well,
goodness.
It's, that is certainly something. Fourteen's gonna stay the leader.
1477 might be the 1477 the 7, and Vinny Scholes may have just lucked into an opportunity here, given a lot of the drivers in the front just, retired.
A lot of the drivers, period, just retired.
Mm-hmm. Bridget Bristow's up here now. 84 is doing something. I can't imagine what Casper Von Weber is planning right now. Actually, that's Tammy Bird.
Tammy Bird.
Yeah. Got a free pass, though, so she'll take that at least.
Yeah, she has to line up at the tail end of the field because of that.
Yep. Well, it seems no matter what we do, I show up to call a race, and people lose brain cells immediately.
I've got nothing.
I might need to stop.
I've got nothing.
I might
to
need to
describe
stop
that
calling
one.
short trips.
I've got nothing to describe that one. Let's go back and see how many cars are even left in the race. I think we have. Yeah, we have 17 cars left after that.
Yippee.
Well, let's go back and check out what happened here. So the 51 clearly had a problem. 51 clearly has a problem. And the 64, she just pulls down into the 64's path, and these cars, everybody piles in. They
Everyone
cannot.
just hits the 55.
It's just the track's blocked.
Nope. Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened with the 2. Did Ramos just pile in?
Oh, what?
Yes. Yes, she did.
Oh, and then it's just domino effect. It sends Ashley Johnson and Karina Willis Callaway first spill. Okay, then. That made sense.
The 99's still in the race.
Many points as you can. Just gotta keep getting some points, especially if you're Karina. I mean, 30... How many points is she up on? 38 points is not safe at all right now. But with all those cars retiring, just being in the race is gonna get her. I think the point she needs to hold on to that.
Kate Summers in the 8 car is gonna get a wave around, so she'll go to 1 lap down. I would not be surprised if we see cars in the top 10 multiple laps down by the end of this race.
Yay, short track race. Mila Shestina's up here now.
Yeah, Mila
Sure, we have not
Shestina is
her
in
name already.
9th.
He survived. Naomi Davenport will continue her top 10.
Naomi Davenport is still here. And
That
there's
car.
nothing can kill her, I guess. All right, green flag. Here we go. We're back to racing in Aguascalientes.
Naomi Davenport wins this race. I think we have to just figure it out. I mean, I
All
think
right.
at this point,
How are the damaged cars running? Not stellarly.
nope.
77's up in the
lock
wall.
4. This would be. I've realized there's one of the noises I may have heard.
Oh, 62. Schultz.
Isn't up there early. Jeez. There a problem on
That might be damage.
Oh boy.
How
I
about
just
Bridget
realized,
Brousseau in 3rd spot?
Where on my life if we have 2 of the new Continental drivers going back to back.
Rashi, you know what's up on the 62?
Yeah, 62 is just evaluating some extra damage on that car. They're gonna go ahead and take some tires. It'll be right sides, and we'll top it off on field as well. Just to take a second look at the car. Obviously, they got most of the damage fixed up, but they're still unsure about some of the other parts of the car that they weren't able to take a full look at in the last pit stop. Obviously, with only this many cars left in the race, you can't really lose that many spots. And well, I think they just decided to hedge their bets right now and keep things going.
The 7. Oh no!
Seven's
Now
up
I'm
in the
hearing.
wall.
I was about to say I must have been hearing some cheers earlier. There's some noise I could hear from the box. I think it was cheers that Reina Munoz made it through that accident. But yeah, that's gonna be a crowd silencer right there.
Well,
Home track win would go crazy for her, but you know, that's gonna be harder to do with right side damage against the car that Edelstein has put together today.
I mean, a lot of cars have gotten up in the wall and had right side damage all day, and we haven't really seen a lot of issues from those cars. So I don't think scraping against the wall is going to be that detrimental.
Also, Naomi Davenport.
What do we call that one? Do we call that one the huge one? I don't know what to call that one. That was a massive accident.
Pull out your Spanish to English translator so we can.
Oh, true. We gotta say it in Spanish.
Right, I got it.
El Uno Grande. Is that
I'd
correct?
Say I think El Uno Grande. That's probably the big one. That is the big one. So El Uno Grande. We'll just call it that for now because I don't think huge is.
That was a total shot in the dark. We're gonna have a fight for the lead, though. Here comes Brousseau.
When we get our Spanish and English translator, I've been using them way too much this week. Please help. Mm,
Rousseau was looking on Edelstein for a little bit there. Not able to make a move stick yet though. How about Mila
I've seen the word.
Chishtina? She's sitting up in 6th right now. Doing a pretty good job right now. You got LaTonya Gray fighting here with Cara Reynolds. You know, remarkably, most of these cars that are running, you know, still a good, decent chunk of them are pretty close to each other.
Yeah, we could have, and then this helps in terms of strategy. We're gonna have.
There's so much less cars, yeah. So if there's
but still.
a caution, it's probably gonna be much more difficult to bring out a caution.
We're gonna really see where the strategists lie in this one. That's you were right about the damage. Munoz is right back up there. I'm getting one of the Spanish to English translator just came up with El Uno Malvado, which apparently means the evil one. I'm all for calling that one evil because that just feels right or something. But I think Grande is big, so El Uno Grande, the big one. Might you know, we might want to use, we can count that one. What did we call the one in Daytona again? I forgot, like the Jupiter one.
I don't even remember.
It's been so long. It has been months.
I mean, this season there's been so much action this season that it's hard to remember every little broadcaster bit.
I remember mine clearly, specifically the one where I got abducted by aliens, but you know.
Oh, well, true, but like everyone got raptured by aliens that day.
Everyone did get raptured by aliens. That was the weirdest day ever, jeez. Anyway.
I don't know why the aliens just set it on Irwindale of all places. Like why? Like, what's so enticing about Irwindale?
California? Anyway. I don't know. West Coast, I don't know.
Implying California is enticing.
West Coast.
Implying the LA area is enticing, actually.
Anyway, Freya von Lundqvist has survived.
Yes, she has. In fact, she's 4th now. She just got past Lockport. We gotta move.
Oh,
Here comes Munoz for the lead.
I can hear the cheers.
You might hear a lot of noise from this crowd because Reina Munoz, just like in 1865, the Mexican has taken the lead away from the Austrians.
Our producer again. Someone needs to. Our producer's apparently getting real giggly today. Understandable. This has been a very funny one.
Munoz up front.
Uh-oh.
Edelstein's closing back in.
Brosseau's right behind us, too.
Yeah, Karina's definitely off the pace. This 99 is just not fast, but she's hanging on. She's doing well enough to hang on right now.
What's even funny about that reference is Brosseau is from France.
Yeah, true.
If it comes down to those two, oh boy. I'm pulling up the Wikipedia article right now on my computer.
I don't think Edelstein is a Habsburg.
No.
I mean, the last
You
name
can call her
doesn't
that,
check out.
You can call her that though, just for fun. Oh, and they're both getting by her. That's unfortunate. LaTonya Gray, by the way, despite El Uno Grande, and then whatever the hell happened to Ashley Johnson, pardon my language, but you know that was true, is up to 5th now. So
FCC won't get mad at us for that one, so I don't care.
Good. So, proof everyone that even in the most insane moments, the most insane person you know will figure out how to survive and probably finish top 5 at this point.
I don't know how LaTonya's up here. She's just doing her best, I guess. We got Rousseau trying to take the lead again.
Oh, these three. They're gonna let Lundqvist and Gray into it. And, oh boy, the scenes if LaTonya Gray wins this race.
I guess it would be fitting if LaTonya Gray won a race with a massive crash.
Yep. There's no race. That's the only other race she usually wins outside of the ones where she just I don't know, destroys someone with 5 laps to go to take the lead. Maybe we'll get that too. We don't know. We have 150 laps left to go. Anything can happen.
Rousseau now stays out front. You got two teammates there. That's Van Lundquist and Munoz fighting for third. Edelstein sits second. There's the fight for fifth. That's Gray and Mila Chestina.
What's the lap time on these tires now? Is anyone? Are we out?
They're about a second. They've lost about a second. They lost a second.
They did hit at the last one. So
yeah,
we
this
have
is
a lot
now.
to
This is now where the clock is. This is again. I said this, but last time, but this is the clock is starting to tick on the tires now. So the tire strategy clock is ticking. There's now about 10 cars, up towards the front. The rest of the leaders have kind of slid back a little bit. There's Vinny Schultz. He's getting pretty antsy up here towards the front. There's Gray fighting with Munoz, Chestina, and Van Lundquist back here as well. Bridget Brousseau, though, out front in that 46. And remember that 46 car did win it back at Saint Eustache. With Shizzy Min in the car. Obviously, they've had to replace Min, so that team lost their playoff lock. Well, in the Drivers' Championship, but Shizzy Min still out. Bridget Brousseau out front now.
The French win in Mexico. Why are there so many funny geopolitical storylines that go with this?
I don't know.
Come on. This is, and Latania's here too.
Marina Munoz is gonna have to reenact Cinco de Mayo.
Absolutely.
Here comes Latania. The 65 is...
Oh, 65. This
She's
run has
making
been
her
her
moves.
run. I don't think Latania was close to the crash. She might have been able to make some adjustments.
She was behind the crash. She actually, if you go back and watch the replay, she actually stopped as the crash happened right in front of her, and only got back going when there was a lane that opened up. She actually came to a complete stop to not get involved.
Which, I mean, that helps because if some of the other drivers got repair damage, Latania could have easily made some adjustments because those adjustments are working. She's, pulling by everybody. Edelstein, Bristow's gonna have to try and take this gap and take it now because Latania might be right behind her in a matter of a couple laps.
I was going to check the fastest lap, and it actually has changed. Bridget Brousseau has it, 22.571 with the NordVPN fastest lap of the race so far. Brousseau has it. Latania Gray is up to second now. She's finally going to get clear of Edelstein. Munoz, Van Lundquist, Chestina, Buchanan, Lockport, Davenport, Reynolds, the top 10. And fate just has it that the 22 is in the top 10 again as we approach the halfway mark of this race, but that massive wreck, I'm not sure we can really call that massive wreck as a fault of anything that the drivers did. I think it was more of just an issue of somebody had a mech failure and just kind of spun out everybody in front of everybody, and how much that a lot of these drivers could do to get to miss it.
Nope.
Tanya Gray is all over Brousseau now. We got Van Lundquist fighting with Munoz for the 4th position. We gotta move for the lead. And Gray can't make it stick. Now we got a battle for third. Here comes Von Lundquist on Edelstein. Here comes Chishtina looking on Munoz here. How about Abby Buchanan sitting up here? Whoa, we got a car stopped. That's Vinny Schultz.
What the
What
Vinny?
is-
Not
That is-
another. At
That
least
is
we
not
haven't
another
had
caution.
one.
That was a bit strange. I'm not sure where she was going. We've got to
Oh,
move
he didn't
for the
start a
lead,
wreck
though.
because of it, though. Oh, this perfect timing. Latana Gray sees Vinny Scholes struggling and decides now's the time I'm going to do to attack Bridget Basso.
Oh, yeah, the 62 stopped on
Oh,
the apron there. I mean, she's on the apron,
Yeah,
so...
Yeah. Air slow may have slowed it down a little. I wouldn't be surprised if the in-car camera had Latanya flipping the bird to Vinny as she passed. Mr. Bean style, just full like goofy smile while doing it.
Well, Lundquist has managed to clear for third. Latanya Gray trying to get clear of Brosseau, and I think she's clear. Yes, yes, she is. Latanya Gray to the race lead here from Aguas Calientes. Ellie, you got any word on what happened to Vinny?
Yeah, her tire went down, and her pit crew is looking more into her car because they've had a lot of issues today. She'll be probably back out on the road soon.
Well, she'll be back out on the track. Multiple laps down. She's already 4 down and probably going to lose even more, but... Brosseau fighting back on Gray now.
They seem really slow by that camera, but I'm gonna assume that's just how we see it, not.
Well,
Correct.
yeah, that's how.
Yeah.
That's the camera right above the flag stand. So
That's understandable.
they are also going well. There's the lap times. They're almost 3 seconds off
No,
their
they're
fast
reaching,
laps
yep.
now. So they're reaching the end of the tire window again.
I think probably about 5-10 laps to go, realistically. I think the wreck was around between 70 and 80, so maybe getting close.
Yeah, we're gonna start to see the pit cycle is probably gonna kick in fairly soon. Well, Tanya Gray is still hanging on the outside. The 46 is still trying to get by on the inside. Well, Tanya keeps clear of the 46 though. Gray is still ahead of Rousseau. But Rousseau's gonna dive down to the inside yet again in turn 3 and 4. And this time she's going to pin Latanya behind the 24. You remember what you said about how Aya, Lockport, all of them, those cars, having a great point of time. It was pretty good for them, where they were in points. Well, the 24 and the 8 are not going to lose that much ground now just because they're still on the track.
No, they are. It went from really good for those drivers just past the cut line to really good for the drivers now on the cut line because
It's gonna be okay for the drivers that are just below the cut line because Lockport's still in the race, Buchanan's still in the race, but they're not gonna gain nearly as much as they would have if we didn't have that big wreck. Meanwhile, here's Vinny Schultz. She's back on track. She's scored 8 laps down right now. But she will be 7 down after she manages to make this move on the 46.
right past her.
Yeah. Don't even worry about it. That 62's just gonna fly because that's just what fresh tires do. Rousseau leads, and Gray is in second. But Gray is diving down on Rousseau for the race lead as we've just passed halfway here from Aguascalientes. Tanya Gray back out front here on lap number 127.
Davenport back to the top 10 yet again.
Wasn't she there the whole time? Yeah, she was there the whole time. She's been.
I thought she dropped out after the restart. I think she had.
Yeah, she got back in, and I think I pointed that out.
Okay. Bad short lap, but just I guess bad short run car. They'll probably make some adjustments on that in case of a late caution, but got to be like in the long run.
How about Mila Chestina in the 6 car? She's in 4th now. It's that thing where whoever gets their driver kicked out, their replacement ends up doing really good and starts to win or run up front.
As Bridget Rousseau is also proving that.
Rousseau's proving that. That's Chestina's proving that. You know, we had Starchev prove it last week in Michigan. There's the 6 of Chestina and the 42 of Von Lundquist. Alright, well, we've had enough cautions for this race, but I guess this may be the time where we'll see if they decide to do another one. We're going to throw you to the FanDuel Fan Studio 4, the mid-race report. Probably going to see pit cycles in that mid-race report as well. Alright, Russia, Ellie, you two, take it away down in the studio.
Yeah, welcome back to the studio for the mid-race report. We're here in Aguascalientes after the advent of the absolutely massive one, as we're at the dawn of another pit cycle. The 65 of Latanya Gray coming in early to get some fresh rubber on. That'll let the 46 of Bridget Berceau take on the lead as we have. Not sure how many cars are left here, but I believe it's just over 15. It is in fact 17 cars left out here racing here at Aguascalientes. Definitely not ideal to see this few cars racing at the halfway point of the race, but that's just how things are sometimes, especially when you have a crash as big as the one we saw earlier today, Ellie. How have things just been simply transformed because of that crash? All sorts of narratives have been thrown out the window right now, and oddly enough, it doesn't look like any of these cars are. It doesn't even look like these cars are prone to crashing. It just looked like a complete complete act of God moment, basically.
Yeah, that was a massive crash. There were so many cars caught in the middle of that. I feel bad for all of the drivers who were caught in the middle of that. And it's really changed up our field here with all these drivers. I mean, Naomi Davenport, she was trailing. Now she's in the top 10. It's like a curse.
It's like the reverse of a curse, really. You know?
Yeah. It's good for her. But we are kind of seeing that tire strategy I was thinking about early on, like how are they going to handle it? I feel like staying out won't really be that beneficial, and I think we're going to see Latanya Gray just fly by with those new tires she's getting.
Yeah, definitely. 46 now coming in. See if any other cars have come in. The 25 of Kathy Ableton Perez coming in as well. I think she was a lap down. 7 of Reina Munoz also coming in. So that's I believe that is. Oh no, the 25 was actually on the list. So that's 4 lead lap cars coming in. And this is This is the fresh tire advantage right here, the 65.
Oh my
Watch
god.
the 24 as well. I think she's coming through on fresh tires. Gonna just have to bulldoze your way through the field around some of these slower cars that have yet to come in. And this is the kind of perilous stuff that leads to cautions, more or less. We had one involving the 24 in that first cycle, and really it's a work of miracle that the 24 is still here, given that she did a whole front flip in the second crash. But all this while she's still running with only a missing rear end. 65 coming in with a full head of steam here. That's
Wow.
Natalia Gray using those fresh tires to her full advantage right now. We'll see where this leads her after everyone's coming for tires, but she should be able to take quite a bit of advantage. But the 46 coming out here, we'll see. It's gonna be close. I think the 65 will. We'll see how quickly the 64 can warm up her tires. But the 46 may have actually, she may have pulled off a decent overcome on the 65 actually. Oh, is that tail end?
Yeah, I think
is that the tail end? I've been before. That's actually the tail end of the lap, so it's actually a bit of an it's actually the inverse of that. You're right. The 46 was one lap down, I think, and because of this, and that will never mind that. But yeah, the 46.
I think
The 60. Yeah, the 65 is still leading. The 46 is trying to hang on to the lead lap, I should say. My bad. My bad on that front. 65 is leading right now. I think the 42 obviously had to came in with a 6 and 14, I'd assume. Yep, there she is. 99, I don't think has come in yet. She's still moving about slowly. Although I don't know if that might just be her actual pace at this rate.
I think pit strategy is very important here. Fresh tires are making the biggest difference possible.
Yeah, I believe so as well. 65 right now holding a massive lead. It's a full lap above everyone. That is an absolutely ridiculous undercut, actually. I've never seen this before on any racetrack.
I mean, the closest we've had to this was Sonastash, where
Sonastash,
pretty much.
yes.
Yeah.
I believe the 65 came in for 4 tires and fuel, so this has to be some demonic tier over. The demonic undercutting strategy by the 65. Yeah, I believe it was a I mean, we've seen tires mean something. The undercutted tires creating a big advantage. I didn't think it was that big of an advantage though. Well, the 46 does stay in second, 59 in third, the 6 of Justina in fourth. Then it's Edelstein, Ableton Perez, Munoz, Hageman, Von Lundquist, and the 95 of, I forgot her name. I think I have to double check that one. Carl Reynolds, I believe, yes. There we go. Yeah, right now, gap speed in these cars is a little bit difficult to figure out because they're all sitting a lap down. Basically, a caution right now would be unbelievably good fortune for the 65, but given that there's so few cars right now, I think that's rather unlikely. But you never know with this show.
Yeah, you do never know, but with the lack of cars here, it's kind of unlikely, I would say, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, pit strategy is definitely going to be important. I do think the 65 nailed the timing quite a bit, I would say. Getting the undercut and also probably having a slightly better stop than everyone else. Which bodes well for her right now, but we'll see what this means for the later half of the run, because that means she's going to be on the oldest tires by quite a few laps, I think, once things even out, and that means she'll be on the receiving end of that. She'll be losing seconds at a time later on in the run. So, yeah, well, that's something we haven't really seen too much. Well, we didn't get to see a full run with these staggered starting laps for the runs. Obviously, in the last time around, because we had those run of cautions that kind of reset everyone's strategy. But assuming things stay green here, this might mean quite a lot for the data that these teams are gathering for potentially the next next 2 or so stops, I would say. Let's see. We stopped just short of 150, so yeah, I'd say it's 2 stops, but we'll see if someone is. We'll see if someone is bold enough to maybe try to stay out at the end. I highly doubt that'll be the case. I think we're far enough. I think the last one will be long enough that, or I should say the second to last one will be long enough that I think spending 10, 15 extra laps on tires might be too much of a difference to compensate for, because we've seen about 50 lap runs or so, maybe a little bit over 50, but with the way these pit stops are staggered, given that we came in at around 140 or so, that would mean about 10 to 15 laps extra for that last run to kind of line it up with those 50 lap intervals. I don't think that it's possible that a team might try to stay out to you know, kind of gain track position, but I'm not sure if that would be a very smart idea given how steep the tire fall off is. I think you find yourself falling behind the pack very quickly in that way. So I wouldn't expect that to be the case. What do you think?
Yeah, if anyone here's team decides, oh, let's stay out a few more laps, I think that would be a really bad idea at this point. I don't think you're going to really be gaining any track position. Somebody pits and they're flying way past you, probably 10, 20 miles faster than how you're going. So I don't know if it's a good idea to try and stick it out. I think I would get the fresh tires as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, the tires mean a lot here. I mean, just right now, the 45 is already a few tenths faster than the 65. Of course, this 46 has a lot of ground to make up, but that gap is only going to widen as things continue on. So the 65 right now just needs to keep things neat and tidy here. Don't make any silly mistakes right now. There's not many cars that'll push you out wide and kind of try to unsettle you like that. So right now, I think the 65's biggest enemy is, well, the driver of the 65 car. I've mentioned Latanya Gray is a bit of a mercurial figure in both AWSCO and the other various leagues that she run, whether it be LSCI or ISRC. This is a driver that definitely it's rather polarizing. I think that's the way things I put it. I'd say she could be very quick at times, but yeah, sometimes I think her own she gets to her own head sometimes. We saw this at Michigan, where she got in the way of the lead battle at the very end of the race. There's a lap car there. Definitely upset the for Cassidy Jones, who really needed to keep up with the 66 of Starship for the win last time around. Right now, she finds herself in a really good situation where she just needs to pace herself and not make too many silly errors. And we'll see whether or not she can pull this off. But she's in a very good position right now.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think she's in a really good position. She just has to, like you said, pace herself, make sure she needs a pit stop to do it as soon as possible.
Yeah. We'll see where this ends up, obviously, but I mean, it's not exactly what do you say this? The best thing, I think, one of the best positions you can put yourself in any race is to be an entire lap ahead of the field, basically. And well, even though she's a little bit off cycle, she's not so far off cycle that I think that will be to an extreme detriment, I think. But you know, flipping the equation, if you're the 46 and 14 right now, these are the two cars kind of closest to chasing down the 65 as the 14 of Edelstein unlaps herself. What do you think what do you think these two cars have to do right now to try to kind of pull away and try to claw that gap right back in? You maybe try to flip the script on the 65, maybe take an undercut next time around? Or do you
I would take an uppercut next time around, but also I think they should keep their momentum currently, because they're looking really good right now. If they keep this momentum, watch the 65, watch if she hits. I would just be very careful here. I really like their momentum right now.
Yeah, look pretty quick right now. Both of them have cleared the 65 and are starting to make their way around the 65, ahead away from the 65, I should say. Another driver that we were talking about earlier in the race kind of fell back a little bit. The 59 of Abby Buchanan. This is a driver that might have a chance for the win as well. And this is another one of these drivers that has kind of struggled in recent weeks. Was very strong at the beginning of the season, but right now staring down a very good run. I mean, if she just stays where she is right now, she'll get a top 5. So, what do you think? Actually, this is probably a good time to segue over to our fan pick segment, just to kind of expedite things a little bit. Do you think? I mean, right now it's the 65 against the world, right? 65 against the world. Who do you really think is going to have a good shot at this? Do you think the 65 can hold on, or do you think someone else is going to be able to make things work at the end?
Well, if she keeps her strategy, which it's really good right now, I think she might have the best chance to win. But again, she's a polarizing figure. Sometimes her own ambition goes against her. She could mess it up. I don't know. But I would say the 46 has a really good shot.
Yeah, I'd say the 46 is looking pretty good right now. Definitely running things pretty well. Although, personally, I think I'd stick to my guns and say the 65 stands the best chance of winning right now. Racing with a baked-in advantage right now is going to help, and there's not too many cars to get in her way right now anyways. My main concern with the 65 is if she does continue to pull off undercuts. We've seen a few close calls already here between cars on new tires versus cars on old tires on pace. We've seen quite a lot of door slamming. We've seen, of course, that caution with the 24 of Ashley Johnson. That's the only thing she can afford to do. On newer tires, she cannot spin out a car or cause a caution like that, because she will effectively be throwing her race away. That's the only thing I think that can really truly keep her from being a front runner and contending for the win here.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the only thing I'm really worried about with her. But generally, I mean, I agree. I think she has the best shot. Her strategy has been really good the entire race. That's just one thing I am worried about.
Yeah. All right. With that, we'll take things back over to the booth. It'll be once again Echo and Eddie taking the reins for the rest of the race. Head on over. Thank you. Thank you for being with us here in the studio. We'll see you around.
Eddie, you got a FanDuel fan pick here at this stage of the race?
Latanya. That's all.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to take the 14 of Katrin Edelstein. This looks pretty strong. She won earlier in the season at Hillside. She's got a great run on these kind of tracks. I think Edelstein's got a great run here, great looking car. And I think Edelstein's going to have the best shot at getting up to that 65 and challenging for the win. And I think maybe we might actually also... I think it's also very possible we get a caution at some point in this race. And bunches of everybody back up, and we will see... I think it'll bunch everybody back up. And... We'll see a great battle for the win at the end. All right. $25 ones last time for the 65, and the 14's last lap was a 24.7. So the 14's running quite faster than Latanya is, and Latanya is also being passed by pretty much everybody. She had a really fast stop compared to everybody else, so that's where she was able to get that lap advantage, but she's losing the advantage now because the tires, well, they don't last that long.
No, they do not. And I just noticed Davenport has, in that pit cycle, I think, lost...
She lost 2 laps, yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to get one back right here, though.
Yep. Praying for a caution though. Someone who could really use it to keep their top 10 streak going. It'd be really funny if we come down to 17 cars. Naomi Davenport's one of them, and she manages to not finish top 10 out of that.
I mean, yeah, you gotta. That top 10 streak is just something that, you know, we focused on a lot. Like that 22. It's just crazy how much she's been able to string together good finishes, but.
Might end today.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Tanya continues. We're hitting the 75 laps to go mark.
I think
We made it through that.
That's the thing here now is for Latanya. The thing is, well, she's gonna be she's on really old tires. If she short pits, she's gonna be the oldest tires at the last run. As we've got a car that's the 62 of Vinny Schultz that just came down pit road. She's already off cycle, so. But Latanya undercuts again. She's gonna be she's gonna be back of, you know, she's gonna be on really old tires at the end of the race. And I think that this last run on tires is going to be the longest one.
Yep. I mean, they started pitting. I mean, we're at 40 laps since their last pit, so.
Well, Vinny's a little off cycle because she had the tire. She had that tire issue.
Yep, but she'll. That's
Vinny
Schultz.
130, so it's been about 40 laps. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at how much time Latanya's already losing to the 14 and the 59 and such. These cars are reeling her in
second by second.
Nearly a second a lap, yeah. Well, I don't think it's a second a lap, but it's pretty close.
And this is where it's gonna get. I want to say interesting. No, I want to say weird, but it's gonna get interesting. Is that how much of a lead is Latanya gonna have when she pits?
26.2. Where's the 14's lap time?
25.3.
Well, I'm waiting for the 14 to cross the line here before we get that time. 25.4. So yeah, she gained 0.8 of a second.
It's gonna be interesting where the gap is when Latanya pits.
Yeah.
But you do make a great point. Is that, you know, they can technically run one more stop on these tires, assuming they pit in the next 10 or so laps. The problem is that's going to be a 60
well, yeah,
lap
that would
stop.
be an almost 70 lap run. Oh, the 65's pitting. She's coming in way early.
Oh, dark horse. What's your plan here, guys?
That's a lot earlier than I expected her to come in.
Anyone else joining? 62 must have pitted again because she's
62. Yeah, 62 did pit again.
Flying around. The speed of she's gonna need it. She's that many laps down.
Yeah, she's what, 7 down?
All right.
Well, Latanya's in, so now that's gonna toss the lead over to. Well, actually, she may retain. Or no, she won't retain the lead. The 14's gonna be the leader. It'll be Edelstein.
The line here. 65 is going to probably stay on the lead lap at least.
She's going to stay lead lap if there's a caution. Hit it with a 13-second advantage. Okay, no, she is actually a lap down.
Oof.
But that's just what happens.
Yep.
It's like, why are there tire marks there? And then I remembered that's from the big wreck earlier. She's gonna blitz by Edelstein right here. 14 will just let her go through. I mean, don't push it here. Again, that's 3 seconds a lap. Is those tires on tires, so Mila Chistina sitting
Anyway.
third. There's Reina Munoz in fourth. Richard Brousseau back in fifth. That 46 has dropped back a fair bit.
Now it's up to these guys, 14, 59, 6, and 7. Where do they pit in terms of each other? They're probably the only drivers who can gain towards the 65. And
Well,
the
they're going to
lead.
lose time. In fact, they may end up dropping. They might drop off the lead lap again when they pit. But the key thing, I think, how long they stay out is going to be the most important part, because that's how much time they're going to have. You know, that's how much tire advantage time they're going to have. And the 65 is trying to run this. What? She's trying to run this. She's trying to run this about 70 laps to the end, and nobody else is going to even try anything near that. So that's kind of the thought process here is nobody else is trying anything like what the 65 is doing, and I'm not. And I mean, it might work out in the short term, but I don't know if that's going to work out in the long term for how this race will finish.
We won't know until we get there.
Yeah.
5 has got the speed.
It's Katrin Edelstein leading now. Abby Buchanan, Reina Munoz, and Mila Chistina fighting for third right now. Although there's the 65. She's in the middle of this. What is she doing?
LaTanya Gray is nothing short of a fireworks show every time she gets in a car. She didn't get blocked. Chose the middle lane and lost time because Johnson was stuck there.
She can't get by the 6 and the 24 right now. Now she'll finally get underneath them.
That was hilarious.
That's the other thing, though, because she's on this short run strategy where she's going to run long at the end of the run. Well, she's at a disadvantage just solely because I don't know. You know what? You know what I could see LaTanya doing? You know what I could see her doing? Maybe she comes in with like 15 to go, you know, and while she has the lead, pits, takes tires, and just storms through the field like this. I could totally see her trying to do that.
And it's going to be made for some pretty exciting end of this race if she can. Just, again, gaining like 3 seconds a lap right now.
Look at that. She made up a whole lap. She's got the lead back.
It's possible. It'd be the best, it'd be the most understandable way for LaTanya Gray to win a race. Just to barnstorm everyone in the last 15 laps to win on fresher tires. Now we gotta figure out when these guys, I'm gonna assume that they're just gonna wait to pit till lap 200.
Maybe.
And try and make it that far just to.
I think 193 is where we might see some of them start coming in, but I don't know. I'm kind of surprised they've gone this long. Seven is coming down. Munoz is in, so she's going to be the first taker. So I can see the 24, 46 and 25 are down pit road now. 81's coming in. 14 is going to stay out here. 59's in. 6 is in. 77 is in. And now everyone's going to drop off the lead lap again because the 65 is going to be, well, on that different strategy. 22 is in, 14 is in, yeah. There's everybody else. I guess if you're Latanya, you might as well just try a different strategy.
As Naomi Davenport, I think for the moment is 6th. He's gonna have to figure out a pit strategy if he wants to keep that top 10. That might be something we have to focus on too later as well. That 62 can use pit strategy to get there, but again, we're at the 50 lap mark, so all these cars are gonna be fine the rest of the way.
65 got completely blocked there. '65 has 2 laps on the field now, actually.
Let's see how much that time bleeds out. The 99 still driving is hilarious, because I think I just saw a little bit of damage on the top of that car's roof from when it flipped.
From this point on, the 65 is only going to lose time. So the question is, has she built up enough of a lead to where she can stomach that?
Maybe.
12 cars come down the road right there.
One of my statisticians who I'm talking over the headset with just mentioned something. Latanya, with the 2-lap buffer, could come down now as the 81 gets into the wall. Could come down now with this 2-lap buffer and still likely be in the lead coming off of pit road. And then have technically slightly fresher tires than the rest of the field. And she'd have enough fuel for the race, so... Oh, this is, yeah, choices, and Latanya...
Yeah, the 14's gaining about, let's see, 14 gained about 8/10 that last lap. But these two are still pretty distant from each other. So what? The 14's got about a 15 lap advantage. And yeah, she's making up almost seconds a lap already. '99 just came in and right here. .24.8. 23.0. That was almost 2 seconds that Edelstein made up. Although I think the 65 got held up by a lap car.
Reina Munoz has moved her way into a podium position.
Yeah.
If she can hold off the 59, that'd be a great finish, at least for her.
Pretty far back.
Yeah.
46 and 6 are right here. That's Brosseau and Chistina. There's Ableton Perez. Lockport, Von Lundquist. Second back around here, there's Hageman.
And Hageman in the top 10. So 2 Meridian cars here in the top 10. Got 2 we got two of the new blood of Chistina and Brosseau, 6th and 5th respectively. An interesting top 10.
To a 23.9. So yeah, another second that Edelstein just picked up. And the other thing here is, you know, what Latanya, when the tires will die out, she's going to lose even more and even more time.
Absolutely.
That question is that gap she's built up enough to hang on to the race win? Because I don't even think she's going to keep the 14 one lap down. I think that these cars that are on this strategy are going to make their way back on the lead lap at least.
Absolutely. And then what does she do?
They're running about a second a lap faster, and later in the run is when the tires fall off even more. 14 continues this, she keeps running a second a lap faster. Let's see. So what? The 65, what? 24 seconds a lap. So try to figure out how many laps it would take the 14 to catch her.
Something I just noticed, and again, it's just something I'm trying to look up now. Of the 8 drivers currently without a win but sitting in playoff spots right now, none of them are in the top 10. Now, I know Reynolds, Johnson, Summers, Willis, Callaway are on track. Schultz should still be on track as well. I believe there's only Moriyama, Kennedy, Anderson that got it. But then you look at some of the drivers in top 10 right now, and you have Lockport, you have Buchanan, you have Latanya Clay, you have Alice Hageman. This cut line is going to be, I mean, it's already +7, but I feel like we're going to have a couple cars. We have 4 cars within within 20 points walking in. I would imagine we have maybe 6 or we have a lot closer battle at least, because I usually say +20, -20 is a good estimate. Right now we have 7 cars in that bubble, and I think it's going to be more than 7 at the end of this race, because a couple of guys, I think we're going to have Kennedy drop a little bit. Callaway's probably not really going to drop. Moriyama's going to drop because of the wreck, probably not enough to get into the -20 zone. But then you have Latanya Gray and Hageman are going to move up a lot. Where Hazel Aya might, yeah.
Russia.
It's a much bigger bubble by the time we leave.
Now. Yeah, Echo, right now, the 65, the fear that I'm looking at right now is that they may have over-leveraged the undercut too much. She definitely, obviously, with that massive two-lap gap that she has, she had a lot of time to kind of, for the rest of the field to catch up, but the fear right now is the over-under might be around 20 laps or so where she'll be caught by these drivers again. I think definitely the 14 and company will catch her to unlap themselves before that, and then after that, I think it's just a matter of time, just like the 65 did before. It'll be a matter of time until the 14 and 7 catch up and pass the 65 for position. The thing that everyone's kind of betting on right now is where does the cliff end up after you get that steep cliff of tire drop off. How fast is that pace? Because the 65 is getting closer to that right now, but the real question is, when will the 14 and 7 get there as well? This will be a really interesting game here between all of these guys, and it'll be very fun to see which one of these teams has their strategy gamed out correctly by the end.
I just have to say with Latanya, I think her only chance to win this race is if she comes down again, because the wear on the tires is so. I mean, I guess you can make it 70 laps, but do you really want to go that far, especially when you're down 15 on everybody else, and they're already making up almost a second and a half now, because the later into the tire run you go, the more the tires start to fall off. Look where the 14 is, look where the 65 is. The 65's crossed the start-finish line. The 14's in turn 4 now. Oh. That's how much time Edelstein's made up.
She's gonna have to pit in the next.
Yeah, Latanya has to pit. If she wants to win this race, she has to pit. There's no way.
Dark horse. Is this a dark horse strategy masterclass? Oh boy. Funniest thing ever if it's just not. Watch her throw the most absolute diabolical block ever. When Edelstein comes around, that'd be absolutely something she's thinking about right now.
I mean, that would be a very Latanya thing to do.
Especially if her pit crew especially if her crew chief isn't giving her any good ideas, I think she would definitely go for a desperation move. We'll have to see. Edelstein, I mean, since her win at Hillside, she had one top 10, but she's also had quite a couple of races where she had some poor finishes after a very
62 just came down pit road again.
Oh, well. Yeah, that's about Vinny. Yep. When you look at, you look at Edelstein's record, had a couple of second place finishes before she got the win at Hillside, and then she's had a weird season where it seems like she has great runs, and then they're like surrounded by races where she either was just mid or got involved in a wreck and got some damage. Only 6th in the points with only 5 top 10s in 18 races, which is still better than actually that's kind of middle of the pack in terms of amount of top 10s for the groups, but you know, done well enough to sit at 6th right now. Technically.
Oh my god, they're on the same straight. Oh, 65's pitting. She's pitting again.
There she goes. Oh, here we go. Finally made that
right
choice.
Call.
And
I think that is absolutely the right call. Now, what do you do if you're Edelstein or Munoz or Buchanan?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what you do now if you're the rest of these cars.
There's your dark horse big brain move, because now, yeah, Latanya's gonna have those faster tires for 25 laps. You have to figure that they have to throw on some tires at some point if they want to at least catch Gray, because Gray's gonna be flying by them. Oh boy. The 14. She should have the lead, I believe, at this point. She does.
The 65 is all the lead lap still. Yes, the 14 has the lead now.
And the 65 will stay on the lead lap. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Forget the Jaws music. Play the music that they played in Megalodon, even though it probably was terrible, because it's a shark movie in the 2010s. Because I think Latanya Gray smells blood in the water, and she's gonna be someone just said in my ear Oppenheimer music. I don't know, that might have been like God or something, but yeah, someone played the Oppenheimer music. We are in nuclear levels of both race pace and probably toxicity, because if Latanya wins off of this, we are never gonna hear the end of it.
24.8 to a 23.4.
Oh boy. Oh.
So Edelstein was a 24.8, 23.2 for Latanya that time. So about a second and a half.
I'm gonna have to pit like now.
I don't know if pitting now would do anything, honestly.
No chance. Here's the 46, and here's 6th.
This is
No
6th
chance.
right here. No chance. Gray's gonna be on rails here.
Mila Shestina, thanks for coming. Get out of the way. Rose Lockport, you had your chance. Now go away.
4th place. 81's down. She's already off the lead lap. 25 is in.
If he had dive bombed it from there, I would have lost my marbles. Look at how much time that. Okay, yep, 59.
Buchanan's now dropped
Third.
back to 4th. Gray's gonna get through. Here's the lap car of the 12 of Kennedy.
Reina Munoz.
Now by the 7.
Second. There's gonna be a lap car between her and Edelstein, but is that Kate Summers? Oh boy.
That is Summers. Yes, that is Summers in the 8 car. That is between her and Edelstein.
Kate Summers could do the funniest thing here. We'll see if she does. Silence. Alright, Kate. What's it? Nope. Kate's just gonna.
Not even
Kate's
close.
Gonna be nice.
Look at this. Eh, she's gonna get by easily. Easily right there. And for the lead, Latanya Gray goes back for it.
3, 2, 1.
Got it right back. It's just that easy.
Yep. As Ableton Perez is also making moves.
Well, Ableton Perez just pitted for tires, so.
Yep. What the heck? If you go for a gap that no longer exists or something, I don't know. I don't listen to that guy anyway.
Well,
I
mean,
think you're,
you know, speaking of that guy, Latanya was down 15 laps on tires. And now she's got about a 20 lap advantage. She's gone.
Yep, 3 seconds.
Would you
just
be
like that.
surprised if we saw nobody finish on the lead lap?
Yeah, that. Only a Latanya Gray win would have that happen. The one driver.
I wouldn't be surprised solely because those the tires are they're just there.
Yep.
25's
Perez,
keeping
though,
pace
is
with her,
making-
though, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, granted, the
Wouldn't it be
25, I
funny?
believe, is lap down. Or she's 2 laps down to her, actually.
Ableton. Wouldn't recommend you do it, but it'd be funny. It would be funny. Don't let her stop you. Oh, look out, 95.
Got 22 here.
Oh my god, 95 jumped right in front of Ableton.
Davenport is
That's gonna
9th. Davenport has to hold on for about, what, like 10 more laps here?
10 more laps. Oh, but I think the 25 is gonna drop her a couple spots.
No,
It'll drop
25's
her
not.
a
25's not on the same lap.
lap.
25's not on the same
Yep.
lap.
People
Oh
are
no,
pitting.
never
now.
mind. She
It
is.
looks
She is. Okay, I'm a little.
like-
I'm just
Alright,
dumb.
well. Who else pitted with the 25?
The 62, I think. The 81 came in.
Oh. 81's also 2 laps down, so the 81 could catch 22. Alice Hageman could do the dastardly thing of ending the...
Oh, look at that. Well, there's Ableton Perez pinning.
That's only
Ray
gonna
back.
anger her. Oh no, this could
We
get
had
real bad.
we had reached our windows 11 to go. Latanya Gray leading by 13 seconds, and that gap is gonna just continue to grow and grow. Second place, Katrin Edelstein, right here. Way back in the field. Just trying to make the tires last, just trying to keep a lead lap finish. Buchanan and Munoz right there, 3rd and 4th. That's it. That's all the cars on the lead lap. In fact, we may just see 2 on the lead lap now.
And that's it. Yep.
That's 2 cars left on the lead lap now. And in fact, there may just be 1. Latanya, don't cause a caution now.
It'd be fun.
It would be funny. She is going to lap the field. $14 goes a lap down. That's just how much tires mean. Full lap ahead of the field, Latanya Gray is. Second place she's just passed and put a lap down. Crazy, crazy strategy from Latanya Gray, but she made it work out. So we're reaching 4 laps to go.
I don't think there's much else to say. 3 to go. We take a Latanya disaster class. I can't say the other idea I had in mind to ruin this one at this point. So
I think it would take a mechanical issue to knock her out here.
Yep.
Two laps to go. Yeah, put these cars a lap down for good measure. White flag, 1 lap to go for Latanya Gray from Aguascalientes. What a drive she's done. Off strategy, everyone was questioning her strategy. They were wrong to question it because she made it work. Latanya Gray will come out at turn number 4 and a lap ahead of the field. Latanya Gray wins at Aguascalientes in Mexico.
our course masterclass. That's insane.
Oh, where's second place? Just about many eons back. There is Edelstein in second. Ableton Perez got third. Well, what a race. A lap ahead of the field, Latanya was. I can't say I expected that one. But that was quite interesting. What did you think about that one? What did you think about that one, Eddie? How do you feel about this race?
I wish it was closer. I really do think Latanya at that point could have held off on the tires maybe 10 more laps and made this interesting by deciding to race till the very end. But I guess they wanted to lock it up early, so understandable. It's an interesting one. Very interesting top 10 for the point standings. Obviously, the tire stuff coming into play. Everyone dying. Everyone dying coming into play there. Not even midway through the race. But, yeah. Certainly a race of all time. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, this track, high tire wear, lots of strategy that went into this one. I think we all expected a strategy race. I don't know if we expected one like that.
I didn't.
Latanya Gray wins the race. Edelstein, Ableton Perez will round out the podium here. Well, I think it's a perfect time to send this one to the FanDuel Fan Studio for the post-race show, where Russian and Ellie have their report here at the end of this one. All right. what do you two got for us?
Well, let go. Good. Welcome back to the studio for the post-race report. Well, that was certainly one interesting strategy race we had on our hands. I mean, we mentioned that the 65 just needed to not just needed to not beat herself at this track. I mean, it looked close a few times. It looked like the 65 was going to take out some random lap car at some point. But yeah, Latalia Gray ended up pulling off a pretty good win at the end, just by virtue of nailing that strategy. It was a really good run. That last one was something else, just pulling off qualifying lap after qualifying lap. That's kind of the name of the game, I think. It was an interesting balance there. It was a very delicate balance, because I think the 65 was in that position where when she came in, she either had to come in right then and there to make sure that she had enough time to come in, to actually leverage her newer tires, or stay out and potentially lose that. And it was, it ended up becoming a pretty tight balance. And with the way this track, with the way the tire wear works at this track, that means there's a lot of leeway in the lap times. Maybe push that. If Tanya had pushed that stop, if the 65 had pushed that stop of 5 extra laps, I'm not sure if this would have been the result, given how much time she would have lost and how much time she would have, how much fewer time she would have had to make up time on that last run. But yeah, it was kind of it was all up to that tightrope in the end. I think just making sure you time that last stop right. I'm rather surprised nobody else came in, to try to salvage positions, because there was still a good chance the 65. I should say, there was still a good chance that the 65 may, the 65 could have, lost more time by staying out, or maybe came in a little too early, I would say. But yeah, I'm surprised that she didn't come in when she had that 2-lap advantage, because she would have been able to come out in just behind the lead then as well. But well, the things ended up working out fine for her anyway, so all is well that ends well on that for the 65 team, I think.
Yeah, I think she honestly timed her strategy really well. It was honestly, she had me on the edge of my seat for the most part. I was wondering, when is she going to pit? When is she going to pit? All the other cars were catching up. It was very interesting. It was very exciting seeing everybody catch up, and then she just pitted at the right time. I mean, she could have done it maybe a lap or 2, 3 before, but it worked in her favor regardless.
Yeah, I think that the timing of the last stop was the key part of that. Just to make things, just to make sure, because I think over leveraging that article was something that was definitely a valid concern. We saw the 65 really lose a lot of time before she came in, and that's the kind of worry that you would have at this track, I think.
That is definitely the worry you would have. I mean, as we've seen the entire race, everybody's tires, after a certain amount of laps, I think it was about maybe like 10 laps, they lost so much time.
I'd say about 15 to 20 laps, and then they really start losing time, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it really just came down to that tire and pitting strategy, and she really pulled it off at the end.
Yeah, I mean, the most interesting part of the strategy, I would say, probably belongs to the 25, Hamilton Perez. She came in right at the same time. That's what I mean when I was surprised that other teams didn't take the initiative and came in right after the 65, because the 25 of Ableton Perez was able to keep up really quickly as well, and kind of ran off with the head of steam as well right at the end, which makes me think that maybe the 14 needed. Which makes me think that the 14 might have more. I think the 14 would have had a really good chance as well if she had come in right at the same time. I think, or at least right after the 65 came in.
Yeah,
That would have flattened the strategy quite a bit.
Yeah, I think if the 14 pitted at the same time or even a little bit after, I think we'd have had a lot closer race towards the end. I think it would have been really 50-50 between the two.
Yeah, it would have been pretty close, I would say. Like the 65 still would have had that advantage at the end, but still would have had the advantage. Enough of a track time advantage in terms of the gap, but given how that would have kind of really split things up a bit, I think that would have made things really interesting as well. Well, we'll see what happens. Well, we'll just have to see what kind of what do you call it? What teams we're looking at, strategy-wise at the end of this race, towards the end, I should say. But yeah, that was the kind of the sticking point, I think, given how awkwardly that last run fit in. Just obviously with the 70-lap run, you obviously don't. The 60 to 70 lap run that kind of fit perfectly into that weird gray area where you don't really know where you want to come in. Like obviously the 65, the 65 was always kind of pushed a strategy up to the point where it was a bit of a no-brainer to come in, I'd say. But then everyone else was kind of in that weird zone, and kind of, where maybe you come in, maybe you don't, and on the spot experimenting like that is going to be was obviously going to be a tricky tricky thing to figure out,
Yeah, and I think there's going to be some teams who are definitely disappointed with some performances here. I mean, we had the 22 lose her streak of top 10s.
Just by the skin of her teeth too, yeah, finishing at 11th.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of teams I think will be wondering just to see,
But honestly, if you made it out of that massive crash, you should still be somewhat proud of yourself on this race.
Well, yeah, most of these teams. I mean, I think one of the drivers I had to be looking at in terms of, I'd say both the 14 and 42 had a good, 14 and 42 had good runs regardless, just because of that, through that survival. I don't think either of those, I think both of those teams were kind of ebbing and flowing a little bit heading into this race. I think for Freya, this is her first top 10 in quite a while. Let me double check when her last top 10 was. It would have been all the way back in South Boston. So it has been a long while, although he's obviously been keeping pace through by virtue of qualifying and finishing these races. That's kind of what happens up front. Edelstein takes the points lead, the de facto points lead for everyone. Obviously, Evergreen still holds that advantage, but with her not running any more races, I think we can say that Edelstein is the points leader. Von Lundquist is third, Williams is third, Vinny Schultz moves up to fourth. Rita Munoz is another driver that's been extremely impressive. I mean, 3 top 10s in a row now. That's another driver that I'd be really looking out for. Another driver had a strong start to the season, kind of fell off a little bit towards the middle, but that win at Delaware seemingly kickstarted her season so far, because she's been really, really good since then. And I think that's a driver that you have to be looking out as well. McMillan have a lot of really good drivers right now, with the 42, the 7, the 5, of course. And the 35 also in that mix. It's going to be really interesting, I think, if you're a McMillan Enterprises driver. I'd figure that a lot of eyes in the Toyota Cup garage will be looking at some of these drivers come the end of the season, and I think you'd always want to be the best in your team. And right now, Freya von Lundquist has been kind of untouchable at McMillan in terms of performances, but as of late, we're starting to see a little bit of elevation coming from the rest of the team now. And this is a team that I think is going to be a real threat for the championship as come the end of the season. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. They have some pretty impressive drivers, especially the 5 car. She's been really great lately. She's also, she pulled off a win at that at her first oval track, I believe, right?
No, that's the 66. The 5 was the one who finished third twice. Yeah.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, Shelby already has a number of top 10s. I think 3 top 10s and 2 top 5s. You know, to start her oval career. Very impressive stuff so far. The 42 obviously, as that win at Daytona, has been pretty consistently good. The 7 has been excellent as of late. The 35 has also been pretty good and is also in that kind of playoff bubble race. It's gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be really fun to see those teams because I'm not entirely sure what the future holds for McMillan Enterprises right now, but yeah, I figure a lot of their drivers are being earmarked right now by the Cup teams. You know, maybe another team that's looking like that might be the case is Inverness Racing as well. Obviously, Vinny Schultz has been extremely consistently good throughout this season, sitting in top 5 in the standings. Easy Overbin has also been really good. Takamoto Aya is also in that playoff bubble mix as well. So that's another team that I think would be one where there's a lot of question marks over where their drivers are going to end up, or whether or not they'll even be in the Continental Series come next season, I think.
Yeah, and it sucks for those drivers. A lot of those you named, I think possibly all of them were retired this race, so we didn't even really get to see their full potential on this track.
Yeah. In terms of playoff bubble drivers, a driver that's absolutely counting her luck right now is the 77 of Rose Lockport, who was basically the only one, I think, who really survived that kind of cutoff line melee, and ended up. Oh, I say that in the 59 also did as well. Both of them got top 5s, so both of those drivers got top 5s. Obviously, the 24 and 8 surviving will help things for them. They're not gonna fall down the points as much as they would have if they had been in the accident. So that's something to obviously good damage limitation days for the 24 and 8 of Johnson and Summers, but because of that, of course, the playoff bubble is gonna get a lot closer as we are getting the graphic in pretty soon, but pending confirmation, I think Summers will have a 5-point lead on the cut line over Lockport, and then I think it's Anderson 11 out. We'll double check things here. Getting it right now, and yes, that will be the case. So Kate Summers retains her spot in the playoffs right now by 5 points over Lockport, Anderson, and Buchanan, all within 11 points at 5, 11, and 11 out. And then Aya and Azelhart still remain in the mix there, 17 and 18 out respectively, and Alice Hageman finishing 30 points out. This, despite everything, the playoff bubble race remains really tight because of that, actually. So that's another thing we'll have to look out for. That even the win for the 65 didn't really change things much in terms of that. We've kind of gone from Kate Summers and Ashley Johnson on the cut line to Kate Summers and Ashley Johnson on the cut line. Really, not much really has changed from that front. Well, looking forward to the rest of the schedule real quick here before we round things up. Our next race, we're heading back over to the States. We're heading to the Pacific Northwest, I believe, for racing at Evergreen. That's another short track. That'll be 0.625 miles. So what is that? I believe 5/8 of a mile. Yes, 5/8 of a mile. 5 flags. Then it'll be a half mile after that, and then Memphis, which is a 3/4 mile. So another round of short tracks coming through here. Evergreen and 5 flags are pretty flat short tracks. I don't remember Memphis. I don't think that's a flat short track. I'll double check that one, but I don't think it's. I think there is some significant banking to that one as well. So more short tracks coming your way here in the Continental Series. And do you think? What do you think who do you think's gonna use that opportunity to really make things count here over these next tracks? What do you think, Ellie?
Well, we have some drivers who, I mean, we're retired here, who are usually good at short tracks. So I think there's going to be a good select few that are going to try and really hard, especially the ones who are on the cut line. I mean, Lockport's only 5 points down off the cut line. So, I mean, I think we'll be seeing her try and race aggressively. I think maybe Naomi Davenport might be a little upset with, ruining her top 10 streak. We might see something from her. We also might see Maya Sheldaby try and do something at that short track.
Yeah, Sheldaby's definitely going to be another driver to look out for. As usual, we know what she can do at these tracks, obviously, and this kind of upcoming crop of short tracks, it's going to be really good for a lot of these drivers. The last thing I would say is watch out for those Meridian cars. They've been really quick in these last few weeks. They obviously survived the big one here at this track and were able to close in the gap on the cut line as a result. If things stand, where drivers are able to point in, I should say, to the playoffs, I think those Meridian cars are definitely going to be ones to look out for coming to the end. And with that, I think that'll wrap up our broadcast here from the studio for the day. We'll take things back over to the booth where Echo will once again deliver her final words and wrap up and close out the broadcast. Go on.
And a very interesting strategy race taking place here from Aguas Calientes. LaTanya Gray goes to victory lane, a lap lead, first time. That is easily the largest margin of victory in any cup race, or any cup or continental race so far. All right, well, tomorrow we've got action from an even bigger area in Mexico. It's Mexico City, the Aerodromo Hermanos Rodriguez for the Tecate Telcel 400. That race will be 99 laps from the beautiful road course in Mexico City. Next week, we're road racing on the West Coast, Sonoma in the Cup Series, and Evergreen in the Continental Series as a short track. The American Seafoods 250 and the Save Mart 400 from Sonoma. I hope you will enjoy those shows as much as you hope you enjoyed this one. All right. On behalf of Eddie, Ellie, and Russia, I am Echo. Thank you so much for joining us today here